Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare again with you on the 26th of June, 2024. I'm joined as usual by Psychic Media Man, remote viewer, Liz Cross. How are we doing today, Liz?
Um, I'm just waiting for you to start spitting feathers.
Well, you already know my view on this bloke. He never should be made manager, and the fact that he was made manager was very, very, very political at the time. The English FA do not want any kind of rebel rouser. They don't want a go-getter. They don't want anybody. And so,
Okay,
they've appointed Vanilla,
okay. I have a few questions. First of all, who decides who becomes England manager?
the Football Association.
The FA.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what is the difference? Pardon my ignorance, everybody. What is the difference between UEFA and the FA?
The UEFA is the governing body of everything. The FA is just for England. So the UEFA put on the World Cup, UEFA put on the European. UEFA is the world governing body of football. They govern all the all the international tournaments and everything. The FA, Football Association, is England only. Well,
Okay.
actually England and Wales. Scottish FA, they have their own, and Ireland has their own. So in England, it's England and Wales, and that's run under the auspices of the FA, which is the Football Association.
Thank you for that clarification.
You're
So
welcome.
this has come about because of the game, the last two games, actually. As you know, for those of you that are not aware, the European Cup 2024 is taking place. England were chosen, correct me if I'm wrong, they were picked as possibly, the winners of this tournament, or certainly somebody who, or a team that stood a good chance, but their performance is shocking. I watched the game yesterday. The lineup is terrible. And even towards the end, the fans were throwing trash and beer cans, empty beer cans at Gareth Southgate. So I thought we could do a mind probe and see what's going on because his it doesn't even make sense.
Well, it kind of does, actually.
Well, let's
if
see.
you
Let's
subscribe to
see.
my
And
point of view, it makes total sense. But anyway, all right, let's go through the motions. Right, let's get hold of this guy.
okay, I've got him. Oh, very nervous. He feels like he's screwed up. He suffers with a lot of anxiety.
Right. Okay. Well, he's not a dynamic go-getter. He never was when he was a footballer. He was always, anyway. Right. Why did the FA choose him? Why does he believe the FA chose him to be England manager?
Why do you believe the FA chose him? Why? But why? Why did they pick you? They thought that he was good at what he does. He's telling me these are his own personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Um, he's very organized, very structured. He's not fiery. They didn't want a firebrand out there.
Exactly. Right. That's true. That is absolutely true. Okay.
They want
Well,
someone that they can deal with and that they can talk to, and someone who will do as they say.
so in other words, they want a corporate manager who just literally does. Okay. So, I mean, he allegedly gets paid £5 million a year. Does it matter to him whether England win or not?
Ooh, you get paid £5 million a year. He gets more than that.
Good. Awesome.
Does it matter to you whether England win or not the European Cup? Does it matter to you? No. Now that bothers me.
Should do. So you've
What
got
why does it not matter to you? Because we're there. What do you mean because we're there?
well because we passed qualifying, which we were always going to do, and we're in the tournament. So we're actually in the tournament. And as far as he's concerned, that's almost, to be honest, his job, we think. Um, you know, you've got to have a dynamic leader. You've got to have somebody that's really everything that's the opposite of him. So it's almost like the FA don't really want us to win anything, or does this go deeper?
Does the FA want us to win? They don't care if we win or lose in the European Cup. They just like a presence there.
Right. Well, that's okay if you're somebody like Slovenia, who did very well yesterday, who've never been this far and, have done very well. I mean, that where their main sport is like skiing or snowboarding or something, but our main sport is football. And, this is what the whole country pretty much rallies together for. And we're being led by a manager who doesn't care whether we win, because he's getting paid anyway. His boss, the group, the FA, don't care, and all they're talking about is, well, you're in it. We've got to the qualifying, which, to be honest, we were always going to do. We were never not going to qualify, but that's not really good enough, is it? Does he expect to be manager at the end of this year?
Do you expect to be manager at the end of this year? No, he's thinking of resigning.
Good. Yeah, tell him Mr. Shakespeare thinks that's a very good idea.
So get this though, right? Even my 17-year-old kid, my oldest kid, was so angry yesterday during the game. Where's Palmer? Where's this one? Where's that
Yeah.
one? Why is he not doing this? Why is he not doing that? What, Palmer, who I've never heard of until now, is apparently like one of the best players out there. Yet he was on the bench the whole of the last game and on the bench, pretty much all of yesterday when they did actually allow him to go play, or when
It was too
Southgate.
late. It was too late.
It was, but he was good. Even in those few minutes, he was good. So let's ask him this question. Why did you bench Palmer in the last game? Because I thought it was the right thing to do. Why did you bench him? Why did you, sorry, the game before yesterday, why did you bench him the entire game? I didn't feel he was ready. What on earth do you mean by that? He's not that experienced, as in playing these big tournaments, he's saying.
No, he's not. But how you get experience is by playing them. See, that's the problem. Southgate's mentality, in my humble opinion, is he will do anything just to not lose. He's more than happy with a draw. The win does not matter to him as much as it should do. This is about winning. Draws and losing are not good. Nobody ever remembers who comes second, third, or anything else. It's all about winning. Now, the other countries' managers like Spain, Italy, and France, they have managers who are geared only for that. They only care about the win. They're not interested in anything else. This guy, he wants to compete, in my opinion, and is more than happy with a draw. He draws great solace out of a draw. He's been like this for years. I mean, I've been complaining about this guy ever since, because I remember him as a footballer. He was never that good. He was half reasonable, but he was never that good. He's very, very defensive minded, which just means, don't attack, don't attack. I mean, I just
So
don't.
let's ask him. Let's ask him. Do you think a draw is a win? Absolutely.
There you go.
That's
This
his
is
problem.
Yeah, I know. I
You're right.
identified this years ago. He's terrible. He's just so bad. Oh
But
dear.
he did get England further along than they've been in a while.
Yeah, but the problem is the FA will not. They, he's already admitted it. They want someone he can talk to, someone that's not a firebrand. Years ago, they should have had Brian Clough, who's the best manager at the time that England never had. But Brian Clough has a mouth. He talks. He was he was controversial, but he got results. He got Nottingham Forest to the European Cup final twice, I believe. They don't want anybody like that. They just want fluff. I mean, it's bad. All of the players that play for England are all top line professionals. They all play for the top clubs. Bellingham plays for Real Madrid. Harry Kane plays for Bayern Munich. They all play for the top clubs, and they're all used to playing a much more attacking game. They come together under the England flag, and it's literally like a cake making weekend, you know.
Mr. Shakespeare.
You know now why I don't care about national football so much. I don't follow. I care about club football, my club, because you know the manager there. They want to win. They want to win. They want to win. You know, I don't. This is just not good. This is not here. You know, we've got no chance. If we can't, I'm not being funny, but if we can't beat Slovenia or even score, how the hell are we going to do against the likes of Portugal, against the likes of Spain, who won all of their games, Italy, France? How are we going to, Austria even? How are we going to do against those? What
Well, let's
plan?
ask it.
I
Let's ask,
know. What plans he got? Well, when we play the better teams.
what plan do you have for when we play the better teams? He's going to change his lineup.
Okay. Is he going to play himself?
Are you going to play yourself? No. But he's feeling the pressure, right? He is really, and I'm glad he's feeling the pressure. He needs to. To do badly on one game and then start with the same lineup the next game, that was bizarre behavior.
That's what he does. Very, very, very conservative in his outlook.
Why are you so conservative in your outlook? That's the way he's built. He's not a risk taker.
No, I know. And that's why we don't get anywhere because certain times you have to, go for bust. You have to do something. I mean, all right, we were going to win the group. Our group was so weak, but we've managed to win it with 5 points. Spain scored won every match. They've got 9 points, three out of three. You know, these are the teams that want to win. This is why they do well in the European and the World Cup. We haven't done anything since 1966, and we keep on with people like Southgate, and we won't we won't do anything.
Mm. So who are we playing on? When is the next one? Monday?
I don't know. I don't know what the groups are. I haven't looked at it yet because they haven't finished the individual stages, have they? The group stages. I don't mean that. I mean the knockout is next week. Yeah, I know we've done ours, but I think there's some games tonight as well, and then there'll be a break for a few days.
So let's ask him this. Don't you want England and the British people to be happy? It doesn't make much difference to him. It doesn't.
I know, but imagine saying that. I
Well,
can't.
he doesn't say it to the
Premier,
cameras. This is a mind probe.
a Premier League manager, after every match, they are forced under the contract of Sky. They have to go and speak to the press. Somebody from each team, sometimes the players, but always the manager. Imagine if the manager of Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, said, well, I don't really care if we win. It's all right. It's okay. He'd be crucified. He'd be fired the next day. You can't say things like that. That whole attitude then is then rolls over the whole team. I mean, they are all highly paid. I don't know if they get paid for England or not. Doesn't matter. They're all very highly paid, you know. So it doesn't matter. But for pride and everything else, I think they want to do something. And then they come up with this guy, you know, and he's looking at how far can we go backwards? How many gears of reverse do we have? You know.
So let's ask him this question. Does anyone choose your lineup for you? No, he chooses it. Does the FA actually influence your decisions? Yes. They're his boss, essentially.
Yeah, I know. That's who pays him 5 million a year.
So this came up in a question. It does the World Economic Forum control your decisions? He doesn't believe so.
Could it control it via the FA?
Does the World Economic Forum control your decisions via the FA? He doesn't actually know the answer to that question. So let's probe the FA. Are you influenced by the World Economic Forum? No, they're shouting at me. It's very aggressive energy. Okay. Are you influencing Gareth Southgate's decisions? No, but even they're disappointed in him at the moment.
Right.
When they're telling me when it comes time, so they like him as this, very structured being. But when it comes time to move beyond that, he just has so much anxiety. He's actually quite frightened to do that.
Of
And
course.
the FA are even noticing that now. I mean, they're embarrassed. Are you thinking of firing him? Yes.
Well, he can. He'll never have to work again. So
Well, no, but that's not the point. I mean, you are representing your country. This is one of the
it
most important tournaments.
it's the second most for English. Yeah, I mean after the World Cup, the European is out. I know there's the America Cup, Copa America for America and South America, but in the Euroland, this is our most important international trophy. Um, but the fact that they appointed Southgate in the first place, what did they think they were going to get?
The
He
fact,
hasn't changed personality from his playing days at Middlesbrough. You know,
okay, let's ask him, what did you think you were going to get with Southgate? At the time of the decision, they wanted someone who was compliant,
right?
who wasn't going to badmouth the FA, who wasn't going to start a lot of drama, who wasn't going to push back in the press and say how corrupt the association is, because there is a lot of corruption there. They're
Of course.
influenced by a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's what they wanted. They didn't want someone who would spill the beans and whistle blow on all
Nope.
these corrupt people that are running the FA.
And they wanted vanilla football because I mean, you can't
Well,
have it both.
no, they didn't.
Well, they can't have it both ways. If you get a firebrand, good, he'll be a firebrand on and off the pitch. You've
Hmm.
only got to look at some of the best managers. That's what they're like. They don't take any quarter, they don't take any crap from anybody, and they're not really bothered about what their boss thinks of them. They're there to do a job. Their job is to win. He only has, don't forget, this guy doesn't, he only has the England team for a few weeks, per year. Most of the time, he's like a guest at Premier League clubs. You can see him in the stand. He's watching players and things like that. I mean, he lives the life of Riley, really. It's not a tough, compared to a Premier League manager, which is our top league division. I mean, this guy doesn't have to do much, only when he's on the international stage like now, you know? And this guy is not fit for purpose, not to be an England manager. Three lions, three mice, you mean?
Hmm. Yeah, but you see, the FA chose him
I
because
know because they don't want, and I said that before, Liz. They don't want any issues. They're not bothered. Like they've already said, like he said, look, we're competing. We're in the tournament. Doesn't matter if we win. Well, of course it matters if you win. You can't have that attitude. You know, if you're not going to compete to win, don't enter the tournament. Let one of the smaller nations. I'd rather see them. I'd rather see Slovenia. Did you see how happy they were because England didn't score against them last night? They're a nothing country as far as football concerned,
I
and they
wondered why they were jumping up and down at the. I said, why are they celebrating? They didn't win.
no, they didn't win. But is there a playoff or something? Because I don't know what the situation is. But when I looked at the points in the table afterwards, they had the same amount of points, same and everything. So I don't know. Is there a chance for them? I don't know.
Mm.
I- I'd have to have a look. But I mean, they one of the things they were celebrating is that we didn't score against them. Slovenia kept out the mighty England.
So let's ask this question. What will you do if your country actually, or the UK, like turns on you? He says, I'll just leave.
Of course. Bye.
Where would you go? He would go somewhere warm.
Oh, good. Yes, good.
So, what I mean, if they do turn on you, does that not bother you or your reputation, or does that not, are you not upset by that? I mean, he does say, yes, of course he's upset by that.
Yeah.
But he says, what can I do? Their opinions are their opinions, you know? don't you think you should be out there a little bit more fiery, wanting to win? No, that's not how you win the game, he says. You win the game by being strategic.
Mm, all right. We
I
have.
feel like what's coming in too is these players, they know he's a pushover.
Yeah.
They make a lot of demands on him.
Yeah, well, that's why you've got to have a strong manager. If you look at the best clubs in the, they have strong managers who don't allow players to push them around. I mean, Mbappe, one of the best players, currently one of the best players in the world, was benched the other day by his manager, to save him or not use him or whatever. So, I mean, you don't allow your manager is your manager. The players are most of them are superstars. We know all of that, but sometimes you have to, you have to sort of put in who's boss. He's there to do a job. He's the manager. He decides who plays on any given day, and he decides who makes the substitutions. Yes, he's got assistants that help him, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to him, you know, as it
Well,
does the French manager, the English, Italian manager, etc.
he's got a broken nose.
Oh, okay.
He ended up with a broken nose in one of the games. But I tell you who I'm disappointed in. I'm disappointed in Sterling. He's gone to Jamaica with his family.
Okay.
I mean, really? You know
What?
what? I said yesterday that what you do is you start threatening to strip the money away from this manager from Southgate. Would that make a difference? Let's ask him. If you were, you know, if you were, had to face a financial penalty out of your earnings because of, lackluster or underperformance. Not that you all went out there and tried your best, but the underperformance, would that make you concerned? No, he has plenty of money.
Of course he does. He's been the manager of years. In his world, bear in mind when he played in the football, the money wasn't around that there is now. I mean, he earns more money now than he ever would as a footballer, all right? Ever did as a footballer, whereas there are many footballers who earn more money than he ever will do. Do you see what I mean? The money, there's so much money in the sport now compared to what it was when he was a player. Yeah. So no, he's earned millions over the years.
And he gets a lot of perks. He
Of course,
gets he
a
gets
lot of it.
invited to a lot of things. He gets flown places. He gets a lot of perks. Well, unfortunately, do you think you're going to change tactics going forward? He says, I have to.
Hmm.
Will you be playing Palmer? Yes, I must. So he's under a lot of pressure. Have the FA Cup told you off about your selection? He's had a few phone calls. So even the FA Cup are putting pressure, or sorry,
That's
not the
just
Cup.
the FA, not
The
the FA
FA,
Cup.
not the FA Cup, sorry. The FA, at least even the FA are putting pressure on him. They're not happy. Nobody's happy. Maybe we should do some CTT for him. Get rid of some of that anxiety of why he just is refusing to take risks. CTT can absolutely do that for him. I could do it. I could clear out that anxiety. Probably take me about how many sessions? About 5 sessions. But that's nothing if I'm doing it by myself. It takes me like 25 minutes. I could clear out his anxiety. Maybe I
No,
should try to
don't
do
waste
that.
your time. Don't waste your time. You'll be gone soon.
Then you can all bet on the game. All right. Anything else from you, Mr. Shakespeare? This was fun.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Well, let's hope they win. All right. We'll stop this one here.